Welcome, everybody. We are back for another great podcast because we got a lot of great topics. Trust me, from the Fantastic Forecast to Deadpool 3 to Miles Morales news, some Hulk news because of Mark their leak
Yeah,
Ruffalo. There's going to be a lot to talk about.
yeah.
So
There's like a lot of stuff that dropped within the last 3 days,
it,
surprisingly.
every day Marvel's been like, how about we drop something else MCU? Which, yes, we're going to talk about the Deadpool 3 trailer as well. For members, we are going to talk about X-Men 97 and Fantastic Four going up against Superman Legacy, which the last time we had an occurrence like this, it was an absolute bloodbath. But we'll talk about why it might not be the same case this time. So hopefully the members join us for that. But before we get to the normal show, I am, of course, as always, Helldiver Armin, constantly getting killed with my own crossfire because, man,
Uh,
Helldivers is a crazy fun game.
I've seen the videos of it. It looks insanely fun. Where
Yeah.
one planet you're fighting off bugs, and then the next you're running for your life because you can't kill robots.
Yep. It's honestly a game that it doesn't matter. It's like nonsensical. It's one of those perfect games where I just sit back and once the high kicks in, I'm just smooth sailing for 2 hours, just doing the same thing. It's like kill bug, repeat, kill bug. All right. It's good. It is good. But I guess now that I am here and alive before the next kill in Helldivers, I am joined as always by Mitch.
I want to play Helldivers 2, but it's Rebirth month, and
I was gonna say it's Rebirth month. Even yeah.
it's Rebirth month. I have 2 weeks to finish off the Shadowbringer's relic weapon for 14.
Oh,
I need to do that before I can move on to Endwalker and finish the story for 14.
Mhm. Damn.
Yeah,
See,
I
we're all
need to-
committed to some sort of time sinks.
I do eventually want to get to Helldivers, but I've got to get Baldur's Gate 3. I've got to do Armored Core.
I have a
6.
feeling like by December you're gonna find Helldivers on like their holiday sale for like $15, and it's gonna
Oh,
just
100%,
resurge in player
Yeah.
base. So yeah, it's totally worth it for people wondering. It's good. It is.
I say
good.
it does look great.
It is. And somebody else that's joined us as always is Tristan.
Yeah, I have a backlog too. It's like I got a bunch of RPGs, like Mitch said, Rebirth. I want to get Persona 3 Reload. I have like 3 or 4 reviews that I'm still working on. It's really hard trying to review an RPG, even if
Bro,
it is
so
really slow.
I didn't realize because like I want to play Persona 3 as well, and
Mhm.
I didn't realize that my Microsoft Ultimate Game Pass or
Mhm.
whatever renews for a year,
Oof.
like a day before that dropped. So I was like, I'm just gonna buy it on PS5. And suddenly I get the notification. It's like we resub you for a year of Game Pass Unlimited. I was like,
Oof.
oh, good. So it's like, okay, I don't have to buy it, but now
Yeah.
I just got to play it on my Xbox, and I want to play.
Yeah.
I feel like
Good.
Persona to me is a PlayStation franchise. So like
It is.
my
yeah.
brain
Yeah,
does not
100%.
understand on another system. Like it just errors
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff that I want to play, but especially Helldivers as well. I want to get that, but it's just too much stuff. And then like you're
Yeah.
doing reviews and all that. It's like just I just like finished was like a week and a half ago. I finished Grand Blue Fantasy Relink,
Ooh.
which is that action
Oh,
RPG,
oh,
which
I
is actually
played that as well. God damn.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really really fun, and it's really should I say it's a lot more inviting because for people who don't know Grand Blue Fantasy, it doesn't have like a lot of main console or PC games. It's mainly a
Yeah.
gacha, and it goes through that. And it's a monster at making money, but it's not coming
Yeah.
out to the West. And for their first outing it for a major console, it's really really good. People thought it would get eaten up by like Persona and was it
It's carved
Yakuza?
out its own niche. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
Well, it's because it was sandwiched between Persona and Yakuza.
Oh,
But all 3 of those games, they announced all 3 of those games like in the past 4 days. Each of them have sold over 1 million copies.
oh, that's good.
Nice,
That's good.
nice.
Yeah, that's good. Well,
Yeah, I'm
there
in
we
a
go.
weird spot because I haven't had like a backlog for literally a decade.
Oh man.
It's just
Mine
like,
is
this is
just
what
growing.
not playing Destiny does to a person. Like, Christ, I know there's other stuff out there.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I have a bunch on my backlog that I want to get to because I haven't
Mhm.
played Destiny in like probably 4 months.
Whenever the story finished for this season is when I stopped. I was like, you know what? I'm cool until July or whenever the hell.
Yeah,
Until the
that's
next
what,
one,
yeah, that's what it was. It was like
Oh.
but June, July, I'm good. So
Well, I guess we're all good as well. And hey, speaking of July, that's a great segue. Our first topic is about a film that's been delayed to the end of July of 25. This, of course, being the brand new
mhm.
Fantastic
So,
Four logo poster.
mhm.
We got the cast. We were eating
so,
good with this one.
so like
Also, funnily enough, them delaying it to July means Thunderbolts is now in May, so Thunderbolts is
yeah.
before Fantastic Four again.
So like
Yep.
I just want to know, like, are they like replacing it with a lot of other stuff? Because I remember, was it King Dynasty, or that was supposed to
Kang
be
Dynasty was the first Avengers one.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
And that's still apparently coming out in 26.
so Fantastic Four took their spot.
So everything's been
Okay.
shifting just back and back further.
Yeah.
Now,
It's cool. I like all the acting choices,
same.
but
I'm here for 3/4 of them.
hey, they got him his co-actor that he needs to speak off of.
I was gonna say,
I saw they added Herbie.
you
So.
realize Herbie's going to be a depressed, suicidal robot, right? Like,
Oh man,
I hope. Who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide? Because he has the market cornered on depressed robots.
yeah, why do a lot of robots have to be depressed?
I mean, you'd be depressed too if you were a robot.
So, okay, so let's rewind for a second because we've known for a couple of weeks now. It was like, okay, it's official. We are 100% getting Pedro. That was confirmed last week. We talked about it. Vanessa Kirby, we've heard she was locked in like September at least. And then,
Yeah.
What's crazy about this is Joseph Quinn was rumored at one point, right? And then it kind of went away. People are like, no, they're going after somebody else. There was like one of those fan posters from like October that got all three of them correct. And the thing just in that fan poster also looked comic accurate. And that's what he's going to look like. It's like, yeah, I think we kind of known this cast for the better part of half a year. It's just.
I say, if you go back to September, I think it was September, something like 16th, 17th of last year. Ironically, the DCU leaks on Twitter was the only one to get it right.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Like, how? This is more stuff like, get out of this lane.
Like, I'm not sure if it was like confirmed or anything, but I was seeing that they were saying it's going to be a period piece where it's going to be in the 60s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just got to look at the poster, right? It's the if it's not the 60s, it's the early 70s.
It's like, I mean, you look at it and clearly people are automatically figured it out. If you look at what Ben Grimm is reading, it's the cover of Life magazine in 1963.
And say that's 63, but if you look at the painting of Ben behind him, where he's wearing the astronaut suit, that's from 67.
Right. So, I mean, I got a suspicion that we're going to do the quick catch up of, hey, here's when they went to school. Here's where they met Victor Von Doom. Here's a couple years later now. Hey, now we're at the first launch, right?
Do we put Doom in this, though?
You're going to have to mention Victor Von Doom and their relationship, but I don't think you need. I don't think you need Doom. I think you need Victor, you know?
Yeah, I could see like cameos and stuff by Victor pre-Doom in this movie.
Because, I feel like everything we know about this film now, which is quite a lot, all things considered, with what they confirmed to us, I like pretty much everything I'm seeing and what we're hearing. It's kind of shaping up to be the Fantastic Four film we need, if that's like a good way to explain it. It's different than the other ones. You know, it's like, modern day for the old ones. Well, we can't do that again. Well, we can't go super dark, and we can't do. Well, we tried that. It's like they're doing something different, which I can appreciate. And at the same time, the cast, a lot of it out of left field still. It's like, you know, I never had Pedro Pascal on my bingo card for.
I would say Pascal is the only left field one. I think the other three are kind of like everyone's Krasinski Reed.
Right, yeah, honestly, yeah. Joseph Quinn, from the moment I saw him in Stranger Things, everybody was like, what if Human Torch? Oh, well.
And we've been cursed ever since, and now we're cursed again.
It's kind of true.
I'm okay with Pedro.
I mean, I like him. I think he's a great actor. It's just like, Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day,
is.
right? They're giving him a small robot to act against. He's fine.
Exactly.
I wonder if they're gonna have a reference to it where he's gonna be carrying Herbie around on his back.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. Everything looks good in my opinion. Obviously
Same, yeah.
with the July release date, it means that the shoot has been pushed back from this month
Mhm.
when it was supposed to start to meet the May release date, but Thunderbolt is starting up, which means that Fantastic Four will start up within the next 2 months. So it's kind of crazy that Marvel Studios, after a couple years of stumbling, if you look at their next 3 years, they're back in the full, hey, this is like when we were a well-oiled machine between Age of Ultron and Endgame. They're right back at that now.
Like,
You know?
like I do have a question. Who is it gonna be the next big three if they're gonna use like the Fantastic Four? It'd be like Reed Richards.
I don't think you do. I think it's like the old shonen, right? You have a big three. You have like One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach.
Yeah.
You don't have another big three.
I agree. Yeah.
Because for the most part, it would probably be like Reed Richards, Stephen Strange, and I don't know who else at this point. Because they would, if it did happen, it would have been Black Panther. But I don't know about this.
Right.
At this point.
The plan was T'Challa, Captain Marvel, and Strange.
I mean, my hope is it would be Sue Storm, Captain Marvel, and Valkyrie just to piss off the entire Whammon hating, types. But I can't get.
So you're saying you have an agenda there?
Oh no, I've been exposed. I've been exposed. Yeah, I don't think they do the three, main pillars anymore, whatever hell you want to call them. It's just like whoever fits this.
Yeah, I think with how Phase 4 and 5 is going and how 6 looks, it's too late to establish a big three because you haven't you haven't really done that same structure as Phase 1 to 3, so you can't really just be like, oh yeah, these are the focus 3 now. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're gonna have that, you do it at the start. Right.
Uh-huh. No, I agree.
Not that I'm blaming Boseman, but losing Boseman kind of threw that all in the air, so you couldn't really.
I mean, they literally remember like reading the interviews and everything for T'Challa and what the plans were. They were like, "Oh, we had everything charted out with this character, with the trilogy, and him being taken up, one of the 3 spots." And then it's like, well, yeah,
just like, well, that plan's in the end.
Yep.
I also think it's not like a contributing factor to how everything's gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some people have said it's felt a bit aimless. It's aimless because they're not aiming at anything necessarily at the minute. Like they have, they have Secret Wars down the line, but everything they had in between. Like, that's
Phase 4 and 5 literally felt like toss everything out there and then we'll connect it all down the road. It kind of it was just toss it all. So
like you knew where they were going because they told us, and it was kind of obvious in multiverse. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like they know the end game, but for me anyway, it just looked like they're trying to piece it together as they went along.
Yeah. Again, we got to just remember, if the pandemic didn't happen, everything that we still haven't seen released was set to be out already. Like right now, we would be past everything they announced in 2019, and that's wild. But we're still not even halfway through it now because of everything, all the delays.
Thank
and
God.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
a pandemic and a strike. Thank God. I never thought I'd be happy with this.
Right, exactly. So look, we'll talk more about all this soon. Obviously, there's going to be more news this year. They're going to start shooting Fantastic Four soon, so we'll have more reports.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I have a question for the pair of you. Do you think the suits in this are the suits we're going to get?
Probably a variation of it.
Yeah,
because I seen no one talk about these, and the fact that Sue and Reed are their suits look like turtlenecks.
Yeah, oh yeah, yep.
Even the little texture thing up top I think it's adorable.
Yeah,
so I kind of hope they do go that route. Like keep what you have right there. I think they're different enough, but they look familiar enough.
Yeah, I think you use that, and then when they get to the modern day setting, you're going to update that and add a little bit more of the standard MCU flair, and then it's like, oh, classic new. And again, repackaging toys, that's going to be the key here. So yeah, it's
also God help the Hot Toys when he's coming.
Oh God, yeah.
I've already made the conscious choice to skip the Fantastic Four.
Well, I'm looking at the suits right now, and it seems that, well, at least for a couple of them, they're just retrofitted astronaut suits, except for Reed and Sue.
I'll say I can't remember if it's Ben or Johnny, but one that's like a Green Lantern, like the old
It's
Green Lantern look. I think it's Ben.
It's Ben because he has a white stripe across his suit.
It's the proto suits, right? They're not like gonna MCU it up for that right there. So
they'll do that when they get into the modern day.
Exactly. So we'll see what they do, but it's been good. Fantastic Four news finally with us. Felt like this.
So Stephen Strange was right. They charted in the 60s.
Exactly. He was. So there you go. Well, we're going from flying off into the sky to new heights to crashing, burning, and destroying any potential interest in your universe and films coming out this year.
Deadpool and Wolverine. That's a strange start.
No, we're talking about Madam Web. Madam Web. And the train wreck that everything this film. Boy.
Be honest, Armin, you were cheering for that movie.
Oh, I was cheering, and the moment it was out,
it was a bet.
I lost 3 bets this year. The second one I can't spoil because the wrestling smarks on my wrestling show will know that it's a grift. So I have to keep running that till next pay-per-view. But I'm telling you, the only good part of this film is the 3 minutes you see of them in the suits, and that's it. And even that is muddled up.
Those suits are horrible.
Well, don't worry.
They were only in it for 3 minutes, remember?
Yeah,
that's 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes of being waterboarded is a hell of a 3 minutes.
So, look, it's gotten the second worst cinema score in comic book film history now. It's tied with Morbius, which is fitting.
I thought that was lower than 15.
Well, okay, Rotten Tomatoes, yes, that's also falling.
Oh, sorry, you said cinema score. Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah. That's falling too, which I won't be surprised if it's in the single digits.
I think it went up to 18.
Oh, wow. It's going up. That's something.
Yeah,
it's back to 15
looking
now.
at it, yeah.
Good.
Currently, it's 15 right now. With audience score is about 59. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
And on top of this, we're recording this as the film is now opening up everywhere. It opened up on like a weird Wednesday because Valentine's Day early, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's looking like it's not even going to top 30 million in its 6-day opening weekend. It's a 6-day weekend, everybody. So,
oh yeah, President's Day. I forgot about that.
This film should be a lesson to Sony that they will not learn. They will not learn it. I swear to God, it is.
They'll just make it up with the many Spider-Man movies that they're going to make. So,
how anybody is going to be like, you know what we need to push after this now is that El Muerto and Hypno Hustler.
What
are you doing?
To happen? There's no way.
Yeah, well, currently, they're still like trying to, but at this point, they're basically dead.
I don't know. I have a feeling Sony's dumb enough because this movie proves they.
They absolutely are. They are. I don't know if they can afford to do that.
It is.
I think that's their biggest question for this year: is can they actually afford to carry on making movies?
I don't know. I think Kraven is going to also suffer. And
100%,
Venom 3, the jury is out, but if this is a sign of what's to come, I don't know. Like if MCU films are struggling, there is, and that's like the key, like multiverse connected universe brand. Like, what are you gonna do?
Well, and it's based. It's for me, from what I think it is, it's just people are not gonna waste money to see crappy movies anymore.
That's
just
what
it
they
is
literally
now.
can't afford it.
Yeah,
because before the day we were recording this, the UK was announced to be in a recession, despite our Prime Minister literally the day before saying that we've turned a corner in the right direction.
But yeah, it's that's just what it is. Because from what I've seen online, that's what everyone is saying, is that they're not going to waste their money on a crappy movie. They're just either going to wait to reviews that say it probably has more positives and negatives, and then might go see it or see it when it's on like $5 movie day.
You know,
at the movie
you
theater.
bring that up, and I just saw there was the new release of Mean Girls, the new movie, and it's like it's gotten decent reaction and reviews, and I was like, I don't know, I kind of want to see that. Cause Shay want to see. I'm like, look, we can go see. We got some free movie passes, and yesterday I see the thing. Oh, February 20th, Mean Girls already on digital. I was like, what? It's not even like a month, is it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, it came out in January or some point.
Crazy. It is. The turnaround time is now becoming less than 30 days on some movies, and that's kind of wild.
Yeah, I see it, but yeah, it's just people are not going to waste their money anymore.
Exactly.
Because before,
literally can't afford to.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
and also make smarter choices as well. So that's something. So Madam Web is out, and that's it. Let's just move on.
Next up is
We're
Kraven.
Finally free.
No, you're not. You got
Haven't
Kraven
got to
next.
hear about it anymore.
You got Kraven next, man.
Ricardo has Kraven next. I'm fine.
I was gonna say the only thing I'm craving right now is to talk about something better, and that's the Deadpool 3 trailer. So let's talk about it because
I was a little confused when I saw it though. Like in the timeline, is this like before Loki season 2? Because
it looks like it's pre-season 1. Because like Alia is in there. Like it's.
Yeah,
I mean, it's different TVA costumes. It might even be a different TVA.
True. Honestly, it's We don't know.
Another sector.
Mm.
But
also at this point, it could be the same TVA. It literally doesn't matter where it is in the timeline. It's just
truly just TVA. Yeah,
it's TVA stuff. It happens here, there, and everywhere.
So they are. I'm just trying to make sure. So is this Deadpool the same Deadpool that they're plucking out of the timeline, or is he a variant that they're plucking out of the timeline to do something?
This is the Deadpool from Deadpool 1 and 2.
Okay, so they're just doing what most people assume that they were going to do, just pluck them from the Fox universe and then plant them down into the Marvel universe.
Yep.
And it's obviously going to have it, so Deadpool's been there for a long time.
Yeah, because technically they would have an easy out where it's just, he just killed the Marvel Deadpool and assumed his place.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But what about Wolverine though? Because I saw in the trailer that they had a lot of cool cameos and Easter eggs, like with Wolverine's original name patch.
Yeah, I mean that is.
I mean, people are saying that the patch is Daniel Radcliffe.
There is. So I was talking to one of my friends who's like, he's not hardcore into all this stuff, right? Like he doesn't follow the rumors or anything. And I work out with him every weekend. And the first thing he said to me was, "That's not Hugh Jackman's frame. That's got to be the Harry Potter kid." And I was like, "Hold up." I was like, "So have you heard any of the rumors?" He was like, "All I know is I wanted to see what that would be like." And he just like from the back of it, that is not Hugh Jackman. I'm like, I am convinced as well. Like the frame just isn't there. That guy looks way smaller than Hugh Jackman in a suit. Like,
yeah, you can make that like perspective.
You could, yeah.
You can make it like that.
I do believe. I think that's a variant. Like, I don't think it's huge.
I mean, it's absolutely a variant. It's 100% a variant. I would not be surprised if that's going to be the MCU Logan.
Oh,
we've seen Madripoor, right? Like, we know Madripoor exists. So, like, what if Deadpool just comes in here? He's found that Logan. That Logan ends up dead, and then, bam, carry on from there, or something like that. I don't know. But
yeah.
I think that's the direction that scene's going to go specifically.
Right. I mean, I see it.
Yeah, and even though like with this trailer, it looks real, like from the trailer's perspective, it looks really good. But from what I see, the chatter, people have to make a negative out of a positive. Where people were giving examples of when like She-Hulk does the fourth wall breaking and makes the dirty jokes. It's cringe, but when Deadpool does it, it's funny, and now Marvel is safe because we got something good.
Yeah,
That's because how dare a woman say it?
So I use this as a test. One of my friends, he refuses to watch She-Hulk, not because he's like anti-woman or anything like that. He just never liked the character in the comics. He's like, that's the one thing he's not watched. He's watched almost everything else, and he loves Deadpool. So I gave him the ultimate test, knowing that he has not watched She-Hulk. And I was like, so I got info on a leaked scene from Deadpool 3, and he was like, "Oh, I'll trust you because So I was like, "So there's this scene where Deadpool like breaks through Disney Plus, and he goes and he finds Kevin Feige in an off." I just described the entire She-Hulk scene to him, right? But I put Deadpool in place, and he was like, "Holy, that's the greatest thing ever." He was like, I'm actually blown away. The Marvel Studios would do something that creative." And I was like, hold up. And I brought up the scene on Disney Plus and I played out to him. And I could see in his mind, he was rationalizing why he hates it. And then he was like, yeah, I don't like it. I was like, of course. Like, just by the sheer fact that it wasn't Wade, who he's obsessed with and, loves to death. I was like, of course. So there is a bit of that bias, which is unfortunate because they both serve the same purpose for a different reason and different story angle. And Deadpool will get a pass, but I did find it interesting that a lot of people who say Deadpool 2 is great forgot what the film is about.
Yeah, because everyone's been like, "Oh, why is Kimiko? Why are all these people literally dead?" It's like you did not remember the ending of Deadpool 2.
Well, it's not even that. I've seen people trying to defend Deadpool 2, and they're pulling up scenes from the movie onto Twitter, and I'm watching it, and like the CG is horrible, and people's like observations of it is like, the movie was not that bad, was it? And I'm like,
it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
It's amazing what a cheap like budgeted movie looks like when it was 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Well, if you compare them, Deadpool 1 still looks better compared to 2. Like it is a kind of mind.
I haven't watched either in years, to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough. It's it is what it is. I love everything about this trailer. I think the vibe was great. I think it looks great. I was just on Jared's, the Nerd Academy, and I posted that, and I talked a little bit about him. The weirdest thing to me was seeing a Deadpool style film where the camera work and everything is Deadpool and the vibe is Deadpool, and then throwing in the clean TVA MCU aesthetic. Like my mind was not connecting it. I was like struggling to process. Like it's so weird seeing the Fox universe from Deadpool mashed up into the MCU that's so visually different. Like that took me a little bit by surprise. I was like, oh, right, this is an MCU film.
Well, it's like it's not even that. It's like you realize that it's one of the very few, I think, with an R-rated movie. So it's still taking people.
I mean, it's their only R-rated movie.
Is?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the only R-rated Marvel movie ever made.
Yeah, because Echo's on TV and that's R-rated.
I keep thinking Blade is a part of that.
That ain't coming out.
Actually, no, right? I completely forgot about that. I was like, there's only been one R-rated Marvel movie, and it's Deadpool. It's like, Blade did it like 20 years before.
So that's one thing I do like tip their hats is that hopefully for the people want to be edgelords and stuff that they're not afraid to go that route with certain characters that calls for it and not just saying that this movie and this movie or TV show needs to be this because how awesome would it be that you had these themes in this show with these characters when it doesn't fit those characters.
Right. Yeah. Look, to me it's looking good. It's looking fresh. Like it looks different. I mean, it set an all-time trailer view record, so that's great. Clearly MCU dead. So
yeah, imagine going back 10 years and telling Rothman that the third one, which he will not be making because Disney brought him out, would be the highest viewed trailer in 24 hours of all time.
Perfect.
I'm just surprised Ryan Reynolds didn't go and put on a costume again, just make some videos on his YouTube channel about it, like he usually does.
Love it. So,
but before we go on, the forest is a talking point of this.
Okay. Yep. All right.
There's obviously people are leaning to Age of Ultron or Logan.
Right.
And then there's arguments of both because you see the bike that Cap has.
Yep.
In the void from that movie, but there are the like 6-wheeled tank things from Logan.
Yep.
So which one do you reckon it is?
So also I looked through in Age of Ultron, some of the Hydra trucks also have the same siding and the 6 like wheels. So
Yeah,
like
but those trucks aren't in Age of Ultron. It's all tanks.
yeah, so it's like the I
It's a weird one because I thought
it is.
straight away I was like, oh, it's clearly Age of Ultron, right? Because X, Y, and Z reasons. But then it's like, oh, there's actually no. They're all tanks in that fight scene. So there's no actual trucks or anything. All the trucks were Logan. Yeah.
Honestly, I have a feeling it's gonna be Logan, just because thematically it works better, I think. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
I can see it being like he goes to get Logan and he doesn't know he's died in that time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're going to like make a point that they're not touching that Logan. They're going to get a different one.
That's literally going to be like in the script. He's going to like, you can't touch this one. We promised the fans they'll get too angry. Okay.
Exactly.
Go find a different one. Yeah. So I'm leaning on Logan just because it's sometimes.
I think Age of Ultron is going to play a part in it because there's too many Age of Ultron clips.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they put Deadpool in the main timeline during Phase 2 because there's only one. It's purely based on the clips they show in the TVA. Everything you see is like Winter Soldier and Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And then there's one Thor Ragnarok shot.
Right.
Which is kind of weird, but I reckon they're going to put him around that sort of time.
That would honestly make sense. So I guess we'll see. I mean, there's a lot in this trailer to unpack. Or the teaser trailer. I'm super hyped for the first official trailer that's going to obviously feature more story and stuff and Wolverine because I think that one, that one's going to be the one that's like, okay, everybody, this is the selling point right now. Like,
because I'm with Jared. I would have liked a little more, just like an extra second of Wolverine, especially when it's called Deadpool and Wolverine. I know they had the title reveal for the teaser, but like, come on, just a little tiny bit more, just a little. I just want to see Jackman's face. That's literally it. Just show me Jackman's face. No.
Agreed. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, look, the trailer is doing great numbers. There's a lot of hype. The next trailer should be out within the next month and a half to 2 months, and then it's the go home overload on advertising. So yeah, get ready for that 'cause it's coming. Now we got to talk about Mark Ruffalo. Oh, good old Mark Ruffalo gets caught in the middle of an interview, and they're like, "So you're in Captain America 4 next year, right?" I sure am. I can't wait. And then they got to issue a statement being like, no, Mark Ruffalo was wrong. He's actually not in that film, but he's in a film. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, well, what film is he in? No.
Yep.
He's obviously doing something that, you know.
So the likelihood, look, if he's going to appear in one film, Captain America 4 is the obvious one, considering it's literally a Hulk film starring Captain America as the sidekick. So like,
no, don't be like that. It's a Captain America movie. Look, well, we are not going back to when they announced Civil War and everyone crapped themselves about it not being a Captain America movie and it ending up being a Captain America movie featuring everyone else.
Yeah,
it's a Captain America movie with a Hulk in it.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. It's just Cap featuring Hulk. Because I think like there's like even reports where it was just like, you know, Hulk's positively not going to be being the starring role in a movie anymore. He's just going to be in, you know, just an add-on to most of the other things that they have going on from this point.
Yeah. Which honestly, like,
if they do have his son in there, I hope they get him to a barber because I don't want to make up his mind. Does he want hair? Does he not? Just pick a lane.
Just give him the long Conan the Barbarian hair that he's had in the comics every time almost.
I mean, if you looked at She-Hulk, he didn't know what he wanted because he had it half cut off.
It was a messed up haircut. So looking at this whole thing in regards to the whole Ruffalo Hulk situation, what's going on, it does sound like that we're definitely getting Hulk somewhere. But the films that are releasing next year then are Fantastic Four, Captain America, Blade, and Thunderbolts. He's not going into Blade, so that's not happening. Fantastic Four wouldn't make sense unless there's a multiverse version of him, which then that would be interesting.
I mean, he could be in a cameo role or just something because he does have history of Ben Grimm, but it would wouldn't have any value to the overarching story that they have there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, he's the Hulk in the Thing. I fought before. People want to see that fight. He's fought Wolverine before. People want to see that fight. If he's not in Deadpool and Wolverine, I will be surprised.
I mean, because like even then, barring the fight, Hulk and the Thing, they do eat at a diner from time to time as their superhero personas. So you could get something like that in the movie from Fantastic Four, and people would be happy with that if it wasn't just a fight.
Yeah, would they though?
Yeah, because it does have some funny interactions, especially with some of the comics that show that it can be pretty funny, where Ben gets kind of mad that people accept Hulk for who he is, but they can't accept a big rock monster.
Yeah, but is Hulk smashing anything?
No, not really. He's very polite.
People are gonna hate it.
Like he's very polite to the waitress.
Hulk not allowed to do anything but smashy things and make fists out of cars. Okay, that's the only thing he's allowed to do for character development.
If the last 15 years have taught me anything, it's that.
Yeah, Tristan, get in line. Learn what character development is. Come on.
That Hulk is more than smashy.
No, he's not. No.
Not according to the internet.
Hulk has had one comic, and it's World War Hulk, and that's it.
That's it. Only that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I hate this. Oh, I hate that Hulk has been pigeonholed into this.
Man, people need to read Immortal Hulk. Yeah.
People need to read in general.
It's good, man.
Immortal Hulk's the one thing Al Ewing couldn't keep me on. I started the Hulk fan. It's a tough sell for me anyway.
It's also like people don't read the comics. Like I had before a comic shirt that included Iron Patriot, Norman Osborn, and it was like him holding up the flag and the mask. Like he had his helmet in his hand. Like it's from the comic, right? And it was on my shirt. And I was just walking around Comic-Con, and a person decided to walk up to me and being like, "Bro, why are you whitewashing Rhodey?"
Nice.
And I was like,
nice.
"No,
Classic.
This is from the comic." And he was like, "Yeah, from the MCU. Why did you?" I was like, "No. This came first, like Norman Osborn," and he just wouldn't have it. Like, he just accused me of being racist. I was like, so like,
classic.
People don't read, and they don't know. And I hope that Hulk, in his continued evolution, can grow. And Ruffalo even just recently said in an interview, again, he reiterated, Feige's told them they can't make a Hulk movie. So
I mean, he misspoke on one thing. Who says he didn't misspeak on that?
Yeah. Like, I'm still convinced that they're hiding the World War Hulk film. That's got to happen. Like, at this point, there's too much going on not to do that.
Yeah. It'll be She-Hulk, World War Hulk, or something.
I'll take it.
It's like we made a Hulk movie. It's got She-Hulk in it and Ruffalo.
That's one way to get around it.
Exactly.
Red Hulk. Universal doesn't own his movie rights. Oh man.
Red in the title is just really small, so it just says Hulk, like World War Hulk, but it's red right in the middle.
You just toss Ant-Man into it, and he shrunk the red down. Yeah. See, smart marketing right there. Hire me, Marvel. $1 billion.
I don't know if the title could roll off the tongue and be like Hulk and Red She-Hulk.
That's why we're gonna call it Rolk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Bungie will see you on that one, I tell you. For the 6 people that played that raid, you'd know that joke.
I know what you're talking about. But...
Oh man,
It's even spelt the same. It's literally R-H.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean,
and he's
Marvel.
Massive.
Look, Marvel and Hulk, no legal battles, because in the 80s they had to go to battle Hulk Hogan in court, and that was a whole thing. So it continues to come back.
Oh yeah, I forgot
the
about
whole
that.
Hulk rights situation.
Like, was Hogan like oiled up to the brim in those earrings?
Yes, they brought in Lou Ferrigno, just oiled up from bodybuilding shows. Defend yourself, Lou. Oh man, that is a
good old Ferrigno.
So, yeah, okay. So Hulk, is he in or out of Cap 4? What do you guys think?
I think he's in it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is in it. I think if he is, it takes away from Sam a little bit.
It does, yeah.
Not in the fact that everyone being like, "Oh, he's gonna weigh the movie down because it's not his movie." It's like that's not how it's ever worked before. So why would it matter here?
I mean, I'm
but
assuming
it's
he's
Sam's first
appearing.
movie. No.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's appearing in the third act to be like, hold up, Thunderbolt Ross is what now? Hold up, the leader is still around. What? It's like he's kind of got to address it.
If he's not in it, which I kind of hope he's not, because I want to see Sam fight a Hulk. I think that'd be interesting. And be like, doesn't make sense. That's exactly why it should happen. Because
exactly, yep,
it's comic books. Captain America fights the Hulk.
Yeah.
Like you have Banner in a post-credit scene.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
Do that.
And you do it that way, and then he's in it. He's not really in it, but technically
exactly. No, I'm down for that. I am down for that. So, I guess we'll find out next year if Mark Ruffalo was lying or not. He probably was, though.
That's if they actually managed to make this movie.
True. That is true too. So,
can the MCU actually make movies anymore? Find out.
Find out next year. Oh man. Post Madam Web train wreck, we are now hearing about the future of Sony's Spider-Man universe.
Is this pre or after they found a guy jacking off into Sydney Sweeney?
This has got to be pre, maybe post. It's definitely post blow up. Let's put it that way. So
is it post nut clarity or is it pre?
I guess so. Amy Pascal and them talking about this in a weird way makes it sound like this film is coming in the next 4 to 5 years.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, because I think they were interviewing her and they're asking her questions, especially about the live action Miles. She didn't directly talk about it at first. She just said it's coming down the road, but we're going to focus on the next 2 movies ahead. And people wanted to know. And I think it was Variety that asked, because it was from Discussing Films, where they got clarity on it. And the next 2 movies were going to be Beyond the Spider-Verse and Holland Man 4. So after those 2 movies is more than likely.
Did you call it Holland Man 4?
Yes. But after those is more than likely when we're going to probably see the transition from Peter to Miles.
And
that's if it is a transition and not we're going to have to pair them together.
I was going to say, I am really afraid that this is going to be a Sony production. Like no hands on deck from Marvel Studios.
I hope not.
Yeah. Which,
so
again,
that is the fear, yeah.
Make no mistake about this. Sony, when they are producing live action versus animation, it is completely different teams and different people's investments.
There's no Rothman. No.
Yeah, this is more Rothman hands-on than the Spider-Verse films, and this is more political, which is what we've seen every time with Spider-Man going off the rails with Sony. I am afraid, and this is going to sound bad, but I'm legit afraid this is what they're going to do. They're going to be like, okay, we need to write this Miles Morales film. Here's your 2 white guys that are writing this. Go at it. And it's going to be like, oh...
And it's going to end up like he sounds like the mum from Tom and Jerry, like the original.
Yeah, it's good. I have a really bad. Sony cannot control themselves. They. Oh my God.
They're going to be like, oh, exaggerated swagger of a black male teen. Cool. Watch this racism. No.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, there was also some interviews with Donald Glover about this, and he says that he's all for it, and that he has had talks with Amy and Sony about this as well, and he's down for it, and he's like, if they want to add the Punisher into those plans, then he's down to play it. And it's really interesting because if they do put the Prowler in the Spider-Man 4, what will this thing be? Because there's also the rumors that it's going to be another multiversal thing, and that's potentially not what people want.
Here's my biggest fear. Sony's going to do a Sony where they're like, hey, Marvel Studios, Spider-Man 4, guess what? We're using the Prowler with you guys, and it's going to set them up. And the next time we see Prowler, it's going to be, again, Glover playing him, but it's going to be in Sony's own standalone, just like they try to do with Michael Keaton's Vulture. They're just like, we're adjacent to it. There's Sony understands that Miles is $1 billion franchise. and they do not want to share that money with Marvel Studios because they will feel defeated again. So, like, my hope for this film dies every time Sony mentions that they're working on it and it's not a partnership. Like, I do not trust them. And I've seen people say, yeah, but the Venom films are great.
Venom films are not great.
They're not. Great is subjective, yes, but
like, yeah, they make money, but they're not great.
Yeah, it's I don't.
I know, I'm not entirely sure how long Sony can carry on making movies.
Yeah,
well, they'll keep doing it until they can't. Then they'll probably ask Disney and Marvel to help them out.
There's no way they are. There's no way they ask. Absolutely zero chance. It'll be Disney being like, look, every time you put out a movie, it hurts us. We can't be having that. Just here's some of the merch money. Here's some of the toy sales. Let us make the movie.
Yeah,
like we're not letting you do Miles. No.
Yeah, like Mitch, like you said earlier, is it like if it is a transition, is it gonna be, like the past legacy, or are you gonna have them team up for a bit?
100%, you have them team up at least for a movie. You have them both at the same time, like the games. There's no chance you don't have one together.
I honestly wouldn't mind if Sony was like, "Hey, look, we want this film set in our own universe, but Marvel Studios help us." And once that film ends, it's like the Ultimates. After Secret Wars, then you bring him over into the main MCU continuity and you both play ball with each other on the sequels and in the MCU, because they're setting up Tom Holland's Spider-Man for at least another decade. It's going to be a shame if he doesn't pass the torch to Miles and we don't get sort of like the Insomniac Spider-Man partnership between them. Like, so much wasted opportunity if Sony just gates us off from that, because we're already gated off from so many villains that they're ruining by themselves and potential other Spider-Man storylines. It's
can't forget was it that Black Cat and was it Silk movies?
Oh boy, Silver and Black.
Silk's an Amazon series, so there's a little bit of hope there. But Amazon don't seem interested even in making it right now. So.
Also, don't forget they're making Spider-Man Noir, but now it's been discovered that it has nothing in common with Noir at all.
Yeah, it's
Spider-Man Noir, who's not Peter Parker. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's I think that is a detective drama. So yeah.
Oh,
that's a Sony movie if I've ever heard one. We're making a Spider-Man movie. It's not Peter Parker.
Take it or leave it. Well,
not that it has to be Peter Parker.
Yeah,
when it is supposed to be a Peter Parker, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, you're.
Let's not do Scarlet Spider because there's not 5 of those.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna keep semi-optimistic about Miles because I'm hoping that Marvel Studios can convince them, let's work together and make this what the fans want. But if it goes to Sony Pictures standalone live action, it's gonna be a disaster. It is.
I will hope that there's a hero to save us, because I'm not going to stand here and wait.
I just hope someone locks out Avi Arad. I just want someone like an Avi Arad out of the studio offices trying to pitch that stuff.
I think the only way you're not going to have Avi Arad around is if he's dead.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm convinced he's like 90% cheese.
He is tied up to that license so badly that I have a feeling if his heart stops, suddenly the contract evaporates and nobody can use Spider-Man. Like, he's highly connected to that. Just he can't. That's what keeps him alive. It's
the diabetes in his half toy. I'm pretty certain he's never going to go.
Well, I suppose we're now past the Spider-Man talk, and we're gonna wrap this around. It's been about hour-long podcast, 50 minutes for you guys. Hopefully, we talked it enough. We do have members topics coming. We're going to talk some X-Men 97 and Battle of MCU versus DCU clashing next July. So hopefully we see you guys there for that. Otherwise, I don't know. Don't go watch Madam Web. Don't go watch Madam Web.
I thought you were going to say go watch the Halo TV show.
I mean, I'm gonna do that.
Back again?
Yeah.
And apparently, it's the critics like it.
It's a lot better than season 1. They fixed a lot of the complaints, but no, if your complaint was his helmet comes off, well, that's still a thing. So don't watch it then.
I was gonna say I kind of like season 1, but then
I
being
like
like,
season 1.
if you don't like the fact the helmet comes off, you don't like our show, it's like, okay, cool, that's your mentality.
Yeah.
Halo, nothing deserves the Witcher treatment, and especially Halo.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we're gonna give you guys the Halo treatment, and we're just gonna end it right here. It's just like Halo. I think it was 5. It just ends midway, and they're like, "We're never getting back to that." So that's how we're ending this. So
I didn't play 5
with good cause, because it's the worst one in the series.
Actually, what was 5 the one where they had that Spartan chasing after you?
Yeah, freaking Luke Cage is chasing after you. Yeah, and literally, like, they're like, "Okay, you beat the game. Now just do the game backwards as Luke Cage, and then it ends." And you're like, "Oh."
I don't remember having to do that.
Yeah. Well, so long, Spartans. Rest in peace, or whatever.